this session for the parents and the kids and the young people. So we will listen to each other. Parents should listen to their children, and children also should listen to their parents. Dr. Hani will start the first question, and you know we have to be organized. Anyone like to share, he should raise his hand so we can see who is talking. And better to speak in the mic so everyone can listen and follow.
Okay, I'll start with a little story. A mom went to open the door of her daughter's room, and she found that she was texting. It was 10:45 p.m. She told her, "Whom are you texting?" She said, "One of my friends." He said, "Yeah, I know. Who?" She said, "Mom, it's one of my friends. It's not a big deal." Dad, "I want to see your text." She said, "What? Why would you do that?" She said, "Because it's almost 11 o'clock and you don't want to tell me who is your friend. I want to know, whom are you texting?" She said, "Mom, it's none of your business." So she said, "I want to see the text. Otherwise, you are not taking the phone back. Here is the phone, Mom." And she put her blanket on top of her head and she went to sleep. Mom took the phone outside. She found actually that she was texting one of her sisters, one of her girlfriends. And she basically, this girl failed the class, and she was trying to tell her not to cry because everything will be fine the next day. Next morning, the daughter will not speak to her mom. Mom tried to give the phone back. The daughter doesn't want the phone. And for a week, they didn't speak. So, the story ended. Now the discussion starts. Who did what wrong? Who did what wrong, and how can we correct that? So we'll take one young, maybe more, two young and one or two old. The only thing is, if you can, please stand up when you speak, so at least the camera can take you, and then we'll take Abuna's final corrections or modifications. So, I know where is the mic. Okay, so let's start with our friend. Please stand up, say your name, speak loud in the mic.
Jonathan Majoli.
Go ahead, Jonathan.
I think what was wrong was whenever the mom took the girl's phone and she looked at her stuff, even though the girl said it was just one of her friends.
Okay, thank you. Very nice. Another, can we take a bit somebody older? The guy in red all the way. Please say your name and stand up.
Yes, hello, Johnny Hu. I believe it was the mom's fault because she should have let her daughter have more freedom regardless of time constraints.
Okay. All right, let's hear to the moms, dads, or grandmoms or granddads. Everybody's allowed.
My name is Heidi, and I think that if the daughter was not doing anything wrong, she should have just given the phone to her mom to look. It's a trust issue that they both have to have.
Okay. So we heard that the mom is wrong. We just heard that the daughter is wrong. Somebody has to be wrong. Okay, dad in the back. Your name, please.
Bishoy, I think the main issue is a communication problem between both of them. Between the mom from one side and from the girl from the other side.
So you are the husband of that mom. What you would have told your wife to do better?
She should communicate with her, she should give her the trust more and make it gradually, because once she pulled the phone from her, that's actually, I would say that reduced the level of trust very low. It's broke the level of communication, and though we will find more problems escalating more.
All right, now let's, all right. Do we have two from the boys or girls before we take parents? I would like to have a bit older age, so if possible, 10th grade and up in the next two responses. 10th grade and up from the coming two responses. Yeah, all the way in the back in blue, please. He's definitely more than 10th grade.
Okay, so as a college student, my name is Marco. Where does maybe I'm trying to keep my friend's secret. Maybe that friend is trusting me. Why do I have to expose that secret to my parents? Because maybe that could be something else of my fault that I don't trust my parents. That's an opinion. So is it that I'm trying to keep my friend's secret with me and I don't want to expose it to my parents?
Right, but do you keep the mic, please? But I want to tell you, I want to repeat some behavior that the kid did, and tell me if you would have advised your little sister to do different. It's 10:45. She's texting in her home, in her bed. It's a school day, and she has a school tomorrow. Mom tries to know, but she doesn't tell her even the name of the friend. Mom became suspicious. She requested the phone and or the text or the name of the person. There was no to the three. Then the kid said, it's none of your business, Mom. Mom became more suspicious, snatched the phone.
So I would advise, if she was my little sister, I would tell her, obviously, no, this is not how you respond to your mom. There's a level of respect that we don't tell our mom it's none of our business. Yes, it is her business, she's your mom. Second of all, if it's not something wrong, you just tell her as simple as, Mom, it's my friend, and she's venting out to me. She's going through a problem, she's just telling me about it.
Okay. Who from our young boys and girls, how many agree with Marco's response? Excellent. So, is that means that the next time your mom asked you who is texting you, you will say it's Veronica, for example? You would say that? She will never say that. You better put your face down. You don't want to go up to your room and you find the door closed. So you will say, who is this? Can you tell your mom the subject, or do you think that's privacy issue? 10th grade and up. One more time, 10th grade and up. One more response from this side. We have, yes? Somebody's pushing her hand up, but.
I'm Marina. I think that the approach should have been better from the mom. Because if you're sitting there and attacking your daughter, obviously she's not going to tell you what's going on. But if she would have been nice about it, then maybe she would have told you what she was texting about, or she would have been honest about it.
Okay, thank you. Parents will have two responses. Gina, can you stand up, please?
I like the principle of trust but verify. As long as you're not an adult yet, you're under 18, trust but verify is a very good protection to you. So we trust our kids, but it's not going to be a problem if we, from time to time, verify and make sure that everything is alright. So she should have let her mom do that. Of course, the mom needs to ask nicely and be close to her and all that, but trust but verify.
Excellent. Another, maybe a dad, one of the two dads, please just give it to one of them.
Okay, I don't think that the mom did anything wrong, and I'm not being biased. I think the mom had the right approach, but the daughter, she shouldn't have hidden any facts. The only reason that Adam was hiding from God is because he knew he did something wrong. So I think the daughter should have been open. She should have said, this is Veronica, and we have a private issue we're discussing. And the fact that the mother confiscated the phone is her right. And the daughter had it coming that she disrespected her mom, and she was being secretive. And 10:45 in bed texting is out of line.
I hope you only have boys.
And a girl.
All right, can I have Fadi in the back, please? All the way in the back.
I don't think the word rights should be involved between a parent and a kid relationship. If they were more friends, like what I was saying, the girl would have probably opened up easier and told the mom where the problem is. But the problem is the girl senses that her mom does not trust her. So that's why she's acting this way. So the reaction of the girl probably has to do with an incident that happened before, that the girl feels that my mom doesn't trust me. So I think if the relationship is built on friendship, like Abuna is saying, which is not easy, it's hard, it should have been an open communication without any struggle.
The outcome of this 5 minutes problem that happened at 10:45 on a Tuesday, and what proceeded after for a week. Can anyone think back and say, maybe I would have done things wrong or right, or I would have done... Anyone wants to comment in the comment?
Hi, my name's Hannah, and I would say that there definitely has to be that trust between the daughter and the mother. And what I would appreciate my daughter doing, she's 11, and I would appreciate her saying, Mom, I know it's after hours, I'm not supposed to be texting, but this is the situation. My friend Veronica texted me. Explain. Tell me that, she's having a problem, she's stressed, she's crying. I know I'm not supposed to text after hours, but is it okay this time to do this?
Okay.
Have that open discussion with me. Because to create a negative environment for the whole next week and that night creates so much stress on your child and on you as a parent. And they have school and social scene and everything else going on in their life. You don't want to add that stress. Maybe they have a test, maybe they have a couple tests for their homework. So I would just take it back to the trust issue of open communication and have her come to me and say, I know it's after hours, I'm not supposed to do this.
So let me interrupt you 1 second. I like very much your answer, but let's say you were that mother and you acted irrationally and you did what you did. Is there anything you can do to avoid the future outcome for a week of miscommunication or lack of?
I would definitely approach my daughter and say, you know what, I acted wrong. I would have said I was upset when I found this out, when we had this communication. I acted out of being upset because we have certain rules in our house and you didn't follow them.
Okay.
So looking back on it, maybe I should have sat down with you when it happened and you could have told me more sitting on your bed next to you.
Okay. I want to summarize what we said.
I need to ask you one thing. Why do you say the mother is irrational?
No, I said...
No, you said that.
Yes, I said that. So what I said, because she said I would have not done this, I would have asked my daughter to have a better trust and I would have trust in her. But should that happen, she said. So I told her, if you think you are acted irrationally and you snatched the phone and it ended up by a week of no communications, would you at that time do things different? She said in the morning, I would have called to her and say, I should have not snatched the phone. But let us just summarize a few things. One,
Can I ask that question? Is it the mother's business?
sorry?
Is it
Oh.
the mother's business? You told her none of your business.
Yeah.
Is
Oh,
it
yeah.
our business?
Yes, so let me summarize a few things. I want the kids and the moms and dads listen to the summary, and then let's hear Abuna's comments. Okay, guys. So number one, you're living in your mom's and dad's house. There are rules and you must abide with. There's only one person clapping, so let's... Okay, so number one, if you go to a supermarket, you abide with the rules. If you go to a Disney World, since we are in Disney World area here, you abide with the rules. So you must abide with the rules. Number two, since there are rules, and should you break the rules, you have to explain why are you breaking the rules. Three, should your reason of breaking the rules is justified by the person in charge of the house, no harm is done, things will move on. If the person in charge of the house thinks that you have still broken the rule, there may be consequences. But coming to the parent, and I like very much the people who said, we don't know what was happening before that incident. If mom and daughter were not speaking on regular basis, and she's just a policeman sort of coming on her, snatching the phone, asking, rather interrogating, not asking, then this type of outcome is expected. 2, if you are a parent and you're hoping for a better outcome, you better actually give a leeway for the daughter and give her the benefit of doubt. You raised her, you know her principles, you know her more than anyone in the world. For you to assume she must be speaking with a guy and she probably is sexting, not texting, that's a bit too, unless you don't know your daughter. But if you knew your daughter, maybe you should have taken a breath in and out. Think that, okay, my daughter is acting a bit strange. Let me try to understand why. And maybe if you sat next to her, tap her shoulder and tell her, why are you answering this way? Of course it's my business. You are the most important part of my life. And if you are upset and you're texting at 10:45 and it's not your habit, there must be a big reason. What is the reason? People may have been opening up and would have had a better outcome. 4, should you have done everything wrong? Then apologize. There is nothing wrong that your daughter is wrong by saying it's not your business, but still you are mom, you are dad. At the end, you can forgive more, you can take a lot of insults more than a daughter. So if she did wrong and you acted wrong as well, then it's better you start by saying, I was wrong, I found that you have been texting for a good reason, but the reason you made me do this, maybe 1, 2, 3, we should do it better this next time. So next time this happened, you daughter, you son, know that your dad and mom are asking not because they are trying to be an FBI, but rather they are trying to protect you. 2, the question wasn't really necessary invading of your privacy, would rather exploratory of after hours. And mom and dad, please think before you act, and please think and give the benefit of doubt to the person that you personally have raised and you trust more than anyone in this room. I may not trust your daughter as much you should trust your daughter. How can I, as a servant, trust your daughter and you don't? Let's go to Abuna and see if he has comments on this.
Thank you. I'm really impressed with the discussion. I would love to add a few points to both parties. For the children, we have to remind ourselves that there is a commandment given from God. We should honor our parents. And this commandment have a promise. So when you honor your parents, you have to be faithful, you have to be honest, you have to be frank. You should, in a way, trust their love and trust their experience. So honoring your parents, it will give you a blessing for the whole life, and also it will help you to catch the kingdom of heaven. If you disrespect your father and mother, if you are not honoring them, actually you may live a miserable life and you may lose even your eternal life. So that's a commandment from God beforehand. Again, if your parent trying to be your friend, please allow them to have this chance, because most of the parents are trying to be nice friends with their kids, but most of the kids and young people, they do not love to be friends of their parents. But let me tell you, as a father, and thank God I'm a grandfather now, we enjoy your friendship. And I used to listen carefully to whatever said by my daughter or my son, and I took their advice many times. So if you enjoy the friendship with your parent, you will live happily, because he is the most faithful friend in your life. Make sure of this. For the parents, I would say, we need to listen more to our kids. Sometimes you don't have time, so we do not listen enough. That's why we get this suspicion that they may do something bad. But if we listen carefully, if we are enjoying the communication, the quality time with our kids, I'm sure that it will never get to this hard time or this harsh point, because we know each other quite well. So please give them the chance to prove themselves. Give them the trust. And if they are not up to the trust, now you can do whatever you like. And also, before punishing your child, please just have a simple dialogue with that child. Why you are doing this? What's wrong? What is the mistake? What is exactly the sinful part of the whole story? Is it the word or the sentence they said, or the act, or the time, or the friend? Or also, please try to help your sons and daughters to know who is the best friend, to choose their friends. Because when you speak your experience in a quiet way, in a wise way, your kid will develop the wisdom to choose the right person to be his friend. Because sometimes we have a big problem with the friends of our kids. That's because we did not express enough how should they choose their friends. And this is, a big issue in the future.
Oh, there is a final comment.
Yes, sorry.
Your name, please.
One more thing, because I want to mention the commandments. They also have a commandment in Colossians. Fathers,
do not provoke your children.
Because they sometimes they just assume some stuff. So as well, we have a commandment. They also have one.
Thank you. I think it cannot. This shouldn't be finished better than that.